So let's get started. Mole conversion, that's the first thing, and the second thing is stoichiometry. All right. First question. What is the volume? So volume निकालनी है हमने of 85.5 grams of carbon monoxide. Okay. So 85.5 is the mass. So हम देख लेते हैं कार्बन मोनोक्साइड है. अब इस क्वेश्चन में उसने एक चीज की बात की है, ऐसी है, उसने सिर्फ कार्बन मोनोक्साइड की बात की है. तो हम ये मोल कन्वर्जन का क्वेश्चन होगा. We will take this to be RTP, not STP, because RTP is the thing in our syllabus. So we will say that, so 1 mole for carbon monoxide will be, carbon is 12, oxygen is 16, so 28 grams, because 1 mole is always mR grams, and that is equal to 24 dm cube for any gas. So 85.5 will be X, you cross multiply, and you'll get your answer. Clear? Pretty straightforward. All right, let's try. Actually, कुछ question हमने कल भी किए थे. Let's try, let's say, question number 6. So ammonia, they're saying how many molecules would there be in 40 grams? Mass की बात कर रहा है. So we'll first start with, okay. Again, ये mole conversion है because सिर्फ ammonia की बात हो रही है, एक substance. So 1 mole is 17 grams, क्योंकि उसका MR क्या है? 17. And that will have Avogadro's number of particles, 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. So 40 grams will have X, cross multiply, you'll get your answer. So I asked you to attempt a few questions from here, and I hope you have been able to do that. Okay, so आज हमने questions करने हैं mole conversion, stoichiometry, और फिर मैं आपको सिखाऊंगा about solutions or how to deal with solutions. So let's first get started with this one. Calculate the maximum volume calculate करना है of hydrogen formed when 1.68 gram magnesium. So दो चीजों की बात हो रही है, हाइड्रोजन की और मैग्नीशियम की, and excess dilute hydrochloric acid. This word excess, this is important because this tells me that you can ignore this thing. So anything that's in excess, we will ignore it. It will not decide how much product is made. So the only thing that is going to decide is going to be hydrogen and magnesium. So let's first write the equation. Equation is magnesium plus HCl makes hydrogen plus MgCl2 and balance kar liya. Okay. Mass of hydrogen formed, which is this thing, when 1 Mg reacts with it. So I'll just copy that part. Remember, method मैंने आपसे क्या बताया था? First of all, copy the important bit. So magnesium and hydrogen. Copy कर लिया. Next. इसके mass की बात हो रही है और इसके volume की बात हो रही है. So what is mass of 1 mole? Remember, आपने पहले copy कर लेना है उसको equation में से और फिर 1 mole की value बतानी है. So 1 mole mass of 1 mole of magnesium is 24 grams. क्यों? Periodic table से हम देखेंगे इसका AR is 24. And what's the volume of 1 mole of hydrogen gas? 24 dm cube. So now we have a relation. 24 grams of this will produce 24 dm cube of hydrogen. So अगर मेरे पास 1.68 grams होंगे तो x dm cube produce होगा. I'll cross multiply. 24x is equal to 24 times 1.68. By the way, in a question like this, हमें नजर आ रहा है कि 24 और 24 है तो ये भी 1.68, ये भी 1.68 होगा. But let's just, for the sake of solving it, my answer is 1.68 dm cube, and that's my final answer. What's the traditional way of solving it? The traditional way of formula, yes. So in that, you will first start with moles of magnesium to calculate. So moles is mass over mR. In this case, is mass over AR. So 1.68 over 24. उसका कोई आंसर आएगा 0.07 moles. And then हमने इसको यूज करके दूसरे के moles निकालने. 1 mole of magnesium from the equation produces 1 mole of hydrogen, so 0.07 will produce the same X. So that will be 0.07 moles. So moles of hydrogen भी same होंगे, जिसका मतलब है कि moles multiplied by volume will give me moles multiplied by 24 will give me the volume. So volume is going to be 0.07 times 1 mole की volume, which is 24, which is again 1.68. I would always suggest कि final answer को आप इस तरह से square या circle कर लें ताकि examiner को बताओ कि ये आपका final answer है. All right, moving on. ये क्वेश्चन जो है ये परसेंटेज मैथ्स का है, ये हम पहले कर चुके हैं, एम्पिरिकल फार्मूला वगैरह. So I'm not spending time on this right now. This question is stoichiometry, but I'll come back to it later when we talk about solutions. Calculate the minimum mass of calcium carbonate. So हमारे पास equation में calcium carbonate है, which will break down to give me calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, needed to produce 16.8 cm cube of carbon dioxide. तो important चीज क्या है? Calcium carbonate important है और carbon dioxide important है. So we'll ignore the rest of it. So calcium carbonate and carbon dioxide, I'll copy those parts. Calcium carbonate के mass की बात हो रही है, carbon dioxide के volume की बात हो रही है. So step 1, write the values of 1 mole. So 1 mole of calcium carbonate, it is the MR. Calcium carbonate ka MR, if you calculate it, it is 40 for calcium, 12 for carbon, and 3 multiplied by 16 for oxygen. So 100 बन जाएगा. And volume of 1 mole of carbon dioxide is 24 dm cube. अब हमारे पास है 16.8 cm cube और ये है dm cube. तो हम कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं, हम इसको बोल सकते हैं कि दिस इज 24,000 cm cube, या हम उसको डिवाइड बाय 1000 कर लेते हैं, दोनों एक ही बात है. सो 100 ग्राम 24,000 प्रोड्यूस करता है, x ग्राम 16.8 प्रोड्यूस करेगा. विल क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई 16.8 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100 over 24,000 is my answer. तो जो भी कैलकुलेटर से मेरे पास आंसर आएगा, that's the one I'm going to go with. I'm getting 0.07 grams. Can anybody confirm, please? ये क्वेश्चन भी हम पहले कर चुके हैं.
Sir, don't we have to use standard value like 24 dm cube?
I did. 24,000 cm cube and 24 dm cube are the same thing. Okay, let's try this one. अब इस क्वेश्चन में एक नया कॉन्सेप्ट आया है परसेंटेज यील्ड का. परसेंटेज यील्ड क्या होती है? इट इज बेसिकली द आइडिया कि जो आपने कैलकुलेट किया है वो अगर 100% है तो प्रैक्टिकल वैल्यू उसका कुछ परसेंट और होगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं कैलकुलेट करता हूँ और मेरा आंसर आता है 70, so 70 विल बी 100%, लेकिन एक्चुअल में उसका 90% प्रोड्यूस होगा, 100% प्रोड्यूस नहीं होगा. तो हम कह देते हैं कि दिस इज माय थ्योरेटिकल वैल्यू, कि ये वैल्यू वो है जो कि आनी चाहिए थी, कैलकुलेटेड वैल्यू है, एंड दिस वैल्यू इज द प्रैक्टिकल वैल्यू. ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट वी गेट. ऑलराइट, सो लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. वो कह रहे हैं कि 1000 grams of TiCl4 यूज करें हमने. सो व्हाट आर द इंपॉर्टेंट बिट्स? टाइटेनियम का मास कैलकुलेट करना है एंड TiCl4 इज यूज्ड. सो लेट मी गेट स्टार्टेड. So I have TiCl4 and Ti. Mass of 1 mole of TiCl4, it's going to be 48 plus 142, 35.5 times 4. So ये हो जाएगा 190. That is 1 mole का mass. And titanium का 1 mole mass is 48 grams. So ये relation मिल गया. That 190 grams of this produces 48 grams of the other thing. And if I had 1,000 of this, I'll get X. And I can easily cross multiply them and get my answer. But this answer is the one that should be 100%. If the reaction was 100% successful, then this would be my answer. But it's not. It's not 100% successful. Like when I cross multiply, I get 252.6. I'm going to round it off 253 grams. 253 grams is titanium. If this was 100% true, that's not the case. This is only 90% true. So I'll say that if it was 100% true, my answer would be 253. But since it is 90%, my answer is going to be X. And this is how you solve question of yield. The traditional method of doing this, if you're comfortable with that, we can go on over that. The answer would be X equals 90 over 100 times, which is technically the same thing as cross multiplying. So that gives me 227.8 7, which I'll round it off, and my mass is going to be 230 grams. Why? Because I need to give my answer to two significant figures. So even though my correct actual answer was 228, the calculated version would be okay. How will we know that we have to use the value of 6.02 in 10 power 23? Pay close attention to what they're asking you to calculate. In this question, they asked us to calculate mass. So I knew कि मुझे MR या AR use करना है. If they ask you to calculate volume, you will use 24 dm cube. And if they ask you to calculate number of particles, then of course Avogadro's number. Why? Because 1 mole can be measured or can be shown in each of these three. तो हमें बस देखना है कि 1 mole किस तरह से calculate करना है उसमें. Let's do another question. Calculate the volume of gas बोला है उसने. So this question is interesting because उसने हमें गैस का नाम नहीं बताया. उसने कहा गैस, तो भाई गैस तो ये भी है, गैस तो ये भी है, दो गैसेस हैं. तो इसका मतलब है कि गैस की हमारे पास 2 मोल्स हैं, एक नहीं है. या तो हम इसके अलग कैलकुलेट करें, इसका अलग कैलकुलेट करें और आंसर निकालें, या हम वी ऑलरेडी नो कि वॉल्यूम ऑफ अ गैस is 24 dm cube at room temperature, like 1 mole ka. Doesn't matter what gas I have. So I'll just say that this produces 2 gases. So now I have the question cleared out. Ammonium iodide is the important bit and 2 gas is the important bit. So now ammonium iodide mass hai, gas ke volume hai. What is the MR of ammonium iodide? So iodine, I think, is 127. So I'm getting 145 as the MR. So 145 grams produces 2 times. What is the value of 1 mole of any gas? 24 dm cube. So 2 times 24. और मेरे पास है 2.9, तो उससे x प्रोड्यूस होगा. ठीक है, I'll cross multiply 145x is equal to 2 times 24 times 2.9. अभी कैलकुलेटर में नहीं डालना है इसको, अभी इसको ऐसे ही छोड़ते हैं. And just put the final thing in your calculator. That way you will not need to approximate या कोई mistake नहीं होगी इसके अंदर. So I'll just put this in a calculator. I'm getting 0.96 dm cube. If you got that answer, good. If you did not, please pay attention to how this was solved. अगर नहीं समझ आता पूछें. All right, moving on. I'll skip these questions क्योंकि ये हम पहले कर चुके हैं, ये भी कर लिया हमने. Okay, let's try this one. Calculate the maximum volume of hydrogen in dm cube when 4.55 grams of zinc reacts with excess sulfuric acid. तो important bit क्या है? Hydrogen और zinc. Sulfuric acid को ignore करेंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि वो excess में है. All right, so first let me write the equation. Zinc plus sulfuric acid makes zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. Equation क्यों जरूरी है? ताकि मुझे mole ratio का पता चले. So this is 1 to 1. So I'll just copy this part, Zn and H2. Zinc is, I think, 65 grams. That's the AR. 1 mole की value 65 grams. It produces 24 dm cube. So 4.55 will produce X. Cross multiply. 65X equals to 24 times 4.55. And X is going to be this whole thing over 65. What is your answer? Let's see. 1.68 dm cube. Please confirm if that's the answer. Okay. I hope everybody understands this. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. Okay, let's try this one. All right, let me attempt it. Calculate the maximum mass of phosphorus. So phosphorus is the important bit. That can be made using 300 grams of silicon dioxide. So this is the important bit. Okay, so as I said, copy this whole thing. So 6SiO2 and P4. Okay. Now I need to find the value of 1 mole. So I need a periodic table for that. Okay, silicon is 28 and oxygen is 16 times 2. So 28 plus 32, 60. So 6 times 60 grams produces, phosphorus is 31 times 4, 124 grams. So basically हमें एक relation मिल गया that this many grams of this produces this many grams of that. ठीक है? So I have 300 of this. It will produce X of that. Cross multiply. 6 times 60 is 360x is equal to 300 times 124. Again, do not try to just get the answer at every step. बस उसको लिखते जाएं और n पे कैलकुलेटर में डाल दो. So I'm getting 103 grams. And that is good for me. Done. सबको समझ आ रहा है? It is very important कि आपको ये चीजें समझ आएं. Okay. ठीक है. तो ये इस वर्कशीट में हमारे पास जितने क्वेश्चन थे स्टोइकियोमेट्री के वो हमने कर लिए. I will be sharing 2 worksheets with you today. Make sure कि आप उनको भी attempt कीजिए. And now I'll tell you how to deal with solutions. Solutions are impure. They are mixtures. तो mixtures को हम किस तरह से देखते हैं? हम देखते हैं कि उसमें how much solute we have and how much solvent it is divided in. So solute we usually measure in moles and solvent we usually measure in dm cube. So that gives us the unit 1 mole per dm cube. या 2 mole per dm cube. जिसका मतलब क्या है? That in 1 liter of the solution, this is how many moles you have. The only important thing to remember in solutions is that calculation करते हुए आप उनके सिर्फ moles लिख सकते हैं. और moles कैसे calculate करते हैं? N equal to CV. Number of moles is concentration multiplied by the volume. This is in moles. This is in moles per dm cube. And this is usually in dm cube. अगर dm cube में नहीं है, then you can divide it by 1000 to convert it. Why? Because 1000 cm cube make 1 dm cube. तो ये दूसरा important point है about this. ये क्या हुआ? That you need to remember. Next. अगर कभी आपके पास 2 solutions आ जाएं, एक solution हो तो ये होगा, 2 solutions हो तो क्या होगा? Then we can use the titration formula. Titration formula ये कहता है कि आपके पास 2 solution है ना, उनको आपने react करवाना है. So just do this. CV over N of first solution is equal to CV over N of second solution. And if you're able to do this, you are good enough. आप सारा question solve कर सकते हैं. So just remember these 2 things. For solutions, we'll take the moles, and for 2 solutions, we'll take the titration formula. Now let's go back and try to attempt the questions that had solutions in them. For example, this question. How do I know कि ये solution है? क्योंकि उसमें mole per dm cube की बात हो रही है. वो aqueous होगा हमारे syllabus में usually. Okay? So let me give you a list of all the formulas. One formula was N equal to CV for solutions. For mass, mass over MR. For volume, it is volume of gas over 24. And for Avogadro's particles, it's going to be whatever molecules or particles you have divided by Avogadro's number, or Avogadro's number kya hai? 6.02 into 10 power 24. So sorry, 10 to power 23. This is for people who still prefer formulas, and that's fine. It's your choice. All right, let's look at this question. A student adds 0.6 grams of solid sodium hydroxide. So solid sodium hydroxide है, तो इसका मतलब है ये एक solid आ गया हमारे पास, और उसका mass है. And the other one is volume of this much sulfuric acid. तो मतलब ये important bit है और ये important bit है. So I'll just copy these parts. H2SO4 and 2NaOH. मैंने आपसे कहा है कि जो भी solution होगा आप उसके moles लेंगे. ठीक है? तो अगर मुझे calculate करना होता, let's suppose मैं इसको ignore कर देता हूँ. मुझे सिर्फ ये calculate करना है. I'm going to change the question a little bit. मुझे ये calculate करना है how much sodium hydroxide will react with it. So here's what I'll do. I'll be like, okay, 1 mole, that's it. No 24, no mass, nothing. 1 mole produces 2 times 40 grams of this. ये क्या है? ये mass है और ये क्या है? Moles हैं. तो मोल में आपको कोई नंबर ऐड करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. 1 mole as it is. But mass के लिए आपको MR चाहिए होता है. So 1 mole produces 2 times 40. How many moles do I have? मैं N equal to CV formula लगाऊंगा. तो N equal to CV formula जब मैं लगाता हूं तो this gives me कि concentration is 0.2, volume is 45 over 1000, तो ये आ जाता है 0.009. ये मेरे पास मोल्स हैं. मैं यहाँ पे वैल्यू लिखता हूँ 0.009 produces X. Cross multiply, X is going to be 2 times 40 times 0.009. That is going to give me 0.72 grams. ठीक है, मैंने क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा सा चेंज किया है just to figure out how many grams of sodium hydroxide I'll need. Okay, let's try one more question in case you got confused with that. Okay, ये भी हम छोड़ रहे हैं. Excess वाले क्वेश्चंस अभी हम छोड़ रहे हैं. Okay, let's try this one. वो कहते हैं कि एक चीज है W और एक चीज है KOH. अब इनमें रिलेशन क्या है? 1 mole of W reacts with 3 moles of KOH. यानी कि 1 of W reacts with 3 of KOH. All right. तो मैं वैल्यूज लिखता हूं. इसका मास है और इसके मोल्स हैं. ठीक है, तो पहले मैं इसके मोल्स कैलकुलेट कर लेता हूं साइड पे. N equal to CV. C is 0.25. Volume is 18.5 over 1000. That gives me 125 times 0.004625. ठीक है. So let's do the question. वो कहता है कि 1 mole का mass, वो तो मेरे पास है ही नहीं. 1 mole का mass होता है MR, वो मुझे पता ही नहीं है. तो I'll just put MR there. React with 3 moles. Notice I did not write anything else. I just needed the moles for this because it's a solution. Okay, 0.194 grams reacts with 0.004625 moles. Now cross multiply. So MR will equal to 3 times 0.194 divided by this thing. 3 times 126 grams is what I got. या खाली 126 भी लिख सकते हैं. Let's try again. कोई और क्वेश्चन करते हैं. ये क्वेश्चन करते हैं. In this question, we have 2 solutions because एक इसकी मोल्स पर DM क्यूब आ गया और एक इसका moles per dm cube आ गया. So we have 2 solutions, and 2 solutions we use the titration formula. So CV over n of first solution is equal to CV over n of the second solution. ठीक है? All right, let's do it. Let's say मैं left वाला acid कह देता हूँ, right वाला alkali sodium hydroxide कह देता हूँ. What's the concentration of acid? 0.02. Volume 20. I don't need to convert it to dm cube, by the way. Titration formula में जरूरत नहीं. कर भी देंगे तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. You can. Divided by n. n कहाँ से आएगा? Ratio of moles. वो यहाँ से equation से आएगा. 1 and 2 ratio है. अच्छा जी. Concentration of sodium hydroxide 0.05. Volume नहीं पता. And this is 2 from the equation. And there I have it. I'll easily solve the question. Cross multiply again. 0.02 times 20 times 2 is equal to 0.05. V. This 0.05 goes and divides it. And I get 2 times 20 times 0.02 divided by 0.05. 16 cm cube as my answer. Notice that the beauty of this titration formula is कि हमने चूंकि volume 20 cm cube में लिखा था, we got the answer also in 20 in cm cube. If we had put it in dm cube, we would have gotten it in dm cube. Why? Why is that the case? Because the volume is same on both sides. So if you put this and divide it by 1000 and you divide this by 1000 as well, तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है because it will cancel out. And that is why, as long as you have the units same on both sides, you will get your answer in the right fashion. So I hope that you're able to solve this and you're able to do the questions on stoichiometry, especially the ones involving solutions now. I will share 2 worksheets with you. इनके solutions भी आपके साथ share कर दूंगा. And I hope that you're able to do them. Make sure that you make time tomorrow or tonight to do them because it's super important that you do. Okay? All right. Take care, Hafiz.